Hello, it's Mr. Egg, and you've caught me here on Beach Road, and I'm reminiscing about when I was a kid. I used to go with my parents and my family to the seaside in the UK, and one of the things I do remember when we went to the beach was that my parents always used to point out or inquire where there were toilets on the beach, and I always used to wonder why, and my mum and dad used to say, oh, it's because when you're older you'll need to take a pee and you'll be more sort of worried about going to the toilet than you are now. Now fast forward 50 years and now I'm the old geezer, and yes, I'm a little bit concerned about toilet usage sometimes, especially public toilets. Those of you that know me, I've got ulcerative colitis, which you might want to research. It's a problem with your intestines, and it never goes away. It's with me for life. Happily, I'm in remission, but when I have an attack of it, I do need to use toilets, public toilets, very quickly. So I'm always on the lookout for public toilets. But here in Pattaya, doesn't seem to be that many, especially free ones. So we thought we'd make a video today all about public toilets. And yes, we've come up with the interesting analogy: Pattaya, is it an inconvenience? Hey, it's a lovely sunny morning. I'm just looking out at that blue sky over there and all that water, and it is making me think about going for a pee, I suppose. If you're in a public area and you've never been to Pattaya before, or even maybe never been to Thailand, here are 3 places that you might be able to go in public if you're caught short. First place is a hotel, especially on Beach Road. There's loads of them, and you might want to sneak in, especially if you can kind of try and look as though you're one of their residents. Second place is a bar or a restaurant, although a bar might charge you if you're not a customer, or they might have a little box where you've got to put 5 baht or 10 baht in, but they are still there. And the third place is a shopping centre, a new concept, a shopping centre with no shops, or very few anyway. Right by, actually Soi 6 is just over there. So there was a kind of an old shopping centre here before, and that got knocked down. This is a new development, not really been taken up that well, but it will do because it's a great location right on Beach Road. Now, if you want to go for a pee, it's upstairs. It looks like these escalators aren't working, but actually they are, so let's go and have upstairs, go up and see how we do. Oh, look, as if by magic, I don't know if my cameraman's going to be able to, here he has. Right, now if you have a coffee in a well-known American chain of coffee restaurants downstairs and you've got a receipt, it's actually free, but otherwise you do have to pay 10 baht to come and have a pee. And it's interesting, isn't it, but the toilet's upstairs. Make a mental note, we will come back to toilet locations at a later date in this video. So as you can see, I'm going to pay my 10 baht. I'm going to pay 10 baht for the cameraman. You can see, come on in, you can see the headlines now. This well-known Pattaya YouTuber gets arrested with strange man filming in a public convenience. But here it is, it's very, very nice. Actually, come on in, don't be scared. Look, don't think there's anyone here. They're regular toilets, as you can see. Now, sometimes you get what's called a squat toilet. What is a squat toilet, you might say? Now, this may be something that you will encounter, especially if it's your first trip to Thailand, first trip to Pattaya. And it's something that you don't see as often, especially here where there's lots of Westerners around. But when you go to places like motorway service stations and places up country, maybe in Isan or other less westernized places, you are going to see squat toilets. And let's have a picture of one, and then let me explain the position that you have to assume. You kind of stand on it and you're about there. Think of the haka if you're from New Zealand. Look, Look, we've just made it to somewhere that I honestly haven't been very often. It's Soi 6-1. Not Soi 6, but the Soi that runs parallel to Soi 6-1, and things go on in this Soi. Maybe you want to do a bit of research online all about it. You'll have a bit of a stiff time. Anyway, so we found these toilets. Now, the beach literally is just there. So you come off the beach, and there's a toilet here. Are you gonna come with me?
No, definitely not. No.
Oh, come on. Give us a camera then, and I'll go in and have a look. Hold up. And my cameraman was a bit shy to come inside. I can't imagine why. When I got in there, I secretly filmed, and I've got to admit they are very, very clean and well presented toilets, but there isn't a main flush mechanism. There is what we call a scoop flush. So in the toilet, in the room, in the cubicle, there's a big tank full of water, and there's a scoop there, and when you've done your stuff, you have to basically scoop the water from the tank into the toilet bowl. There may be a lid on the tank because of standing water and the problem with mosquitoes, but this one didn't have that. And as you can see, it's all pretty clean and neat. There's also a bum gun in here. You might not have seen a bum gun if you're new to these. Well, the very first video I ever did on this channel, it was a comedy video, although my producer, Balloon Chaser, doesn't think it was that funny. The very first video I ever did is all about bum guns. So why don't you take a look at it and come back to this one? We're back on Beach Road, and this part of Beach Road was in the news lately. I don't know if you remember, but maybe about a year ago now, might have been a bit earlier, there was a beachfront beautification scheme for the whole of Walking Street, and they started ripping up big trees that had been on Beach Road for decades, really. A lot of the local business owners and a lot of the local politicians started complaining, even though this scheme had been costed and planned out for quite some considerable time. And actually, I can't even find any evidence of the trees that were pulled up. They were really huge, but they seem to have done a good job. Now, part of that beautification scheme was to put public toilets on Beach Road underground. Now, the idea of that in an area that notoriously floods during the rainy season, I don't know. I'm not a civil engineer, but that was the idea. Now, as I said, we're not quite sure what's happened to that scheme. Part of the scheme was for beachfront parking as well. Maybe a lot of the businesses didn't like that idea, blocking out the view from their cafes, bars and restaurants. So I don't know. But anyway, if you do want to pee, there's a hotel behind you, but it's quite far away. We're a little bit sort of secluded, so let's go and find out what goes on. Hold on. Khao thar khap, Hong Nam Yunai khap. So, Soi 6. Oh, we've just, that's the one we've just been to. So, quite a way away, to be honest. So, yes, a little bit of a public inconvenience. So we walked up from Soi 6-1 where we were then, and we're now at the famous Soi 7, and here's another public toilet. It's in this bar and it's 10 baht, 10 baht. Interestingly, the Thai here is suka, which is a very posh word for toilet. Actually, you might have heard me earlier ask the question, Hong Nam Yunai, and Hong Nam literally means water room. So that's the one that I usually use when I'm asking. This might be a phrase that you want to learn, especially if you need the toilet a lot like me. Now, you can see that the signage here is very clear, but there are toilet experts that say that all the signage for toilets should be all the same, which means that you find it easier to locate a toilet. It isn't. So we've walked quite a distance, I have to say, from Soi 6-1 to here, and the next public toilet that we know of is going to be another shopping centre. We'll try and film inside there. It's Central. We just made it to Central, and the interesting thing about shopping centres is this. The toilets, you'd expect them to be on the ground floor. Now, the ground floor is a little bit difficult here at Central because there's kind of a basement, and if you can see, there is a toilet over there in the basement area. It's a little bit hidden away though, I have to say. Now you come to the ground floor, no toilets. You say, why no toilets on the ground floor? Well, think about it. The people who design the shopping centre want you to walk around the arena. They don't really want you to go in, have a quick pee and then come out again. They want you to look and certainly go past shops. So they tend to put the toilets on the first floor and upwards, or second floor actually in Thailand. The naming of levels is a little bit different in Southeast Asia. And also towards the middle of the whole shopping centre. So you do have to walk up and along to get to the toilets, but they're always very, very well maintained, kept clean. There's lots of McDonald's and fast food restaurants in shopping centres. You might think, well, there's always a toilets in a McDonald's. Actually, there is no law in Thailand that says that you have to have a toilet in a restaurant. You do have to have hand washing facilities, but not necessarily a toilet, although there needs to be a toilet nearby. Another thing about McDonald's here in Thailand, they don't have milkshakes. What? The best thing about Mackie D's, the milkshakes, they don't have them either. So no toilets and no milkshakes. The two sometimes go together. Anyway, we'll move on from Central and go to an entertainment area, Walking Street. This is the graveyard of the much missed Simon Beer Bar Complex 1. May you rest in peace. Many people may have come to this complex right by iBar. In fact, iBar is just a couple of bars down there. And people would have gone to the toilet here. And interestingly, this is the area where the toilets would have been. And as you can see, there are 2-3 cubicles here. These holes here are where the extractor fans would have been if there was a nasty smell in there. And the toilet waste would have come out of the toilets into this blue pipe. And guess where? Bang. Straight out into the sea underneath. In fact, this whole bar is built on a pier, and the sewerage would have gone straight into the sea. That is the reason why many of the bars and the entertainment areas, restaurants, etc., have problems getting their licenses at the moment because of this historical waste problem where all the wastewater would go into the sea. There's a problem with putting septic tanks underneath a pier because obviously the tide will come in and it's very, very difficult. Another funny story about toilets is the famous toilets in Angel Witch on Soi 15. Angel Witch has not been here for a while now, but I remember Matt, who was the guy who designed the whole building, he took many of the features from his bar in Nana Plaza, and one of the features in the Angel Witch in Nana Plaza was that you could take a pee and there was a kind of a two-way screen and you could still see the shows going on the main stage as you were taking a pee. And he took that feature and put it into the toilets in Angel Witch, and it's gone now, and it's one of the only things I actually remember about that bar. Anyway, I think we should head that away and go and have a look what's going on in Bali High. Bali High is somewhere that is always highlighted when there are big events in Pattaya, like boxing, New Year's Eve celebrations, concerts, and there's also lots of people going to and from Golan, which is just that way on the pier. And interestingly, there were really no public toilets. There are a few where you get your tickets and you can book tickets there, and generally when there are concerts and other things, events here, they put temporary toilets here, and if you've been in one of the temporary toilets, it's a little bit like going for a pee in a caravan. But anyway, I divulge. Here is a building site where there is a new project taking place. It should be completed this year, and there's going to be, amongst other things here, public toilets. And if I peer through the corrugated iron, I can see 4 great big septic tanks that are waiting to be buried. The thing is, this is being built by Pattaya City. It's going to be passed over to private ownership, and they're going to be able to charge what they want for the services in there. So not free toilets, and could actually be quite expensive toilets as well. We're going to move on to Jomtien, where there's some really, really nice public toilets that we want you to take a look at. A lot of people prefer Dongtan Beach and Jomtien Beach to the hustle and bustle of Pattaya, and it is certainly very chilled out here. And there is a very prominent toilet here. Here it is, the famous word I just mentioned earlier in the video, Hong Nam, and there it is, Hong Nam, literally water room. And this one is about halfway up Dongtan Beach. Jomtien Beach Road is just down there, and Pratamnak Soi 5 a little bit towards there. It says here Ham Abnam, which means don't shower, so don't take a shower inside, just a toilet. Used to be charged here, I think it was either 5 baht or 10 baht, I can't remember, but now they've covered that up, 5 baht, and it's free. That says free. The reason that they stopped charging is because obviously during the worldwide pandemic there's been a lot less tourism, and they're trying to attract tourism as much as possible. And one of the things they tried to do is to introduce free toilets. Maybe some ideas will go off in City Hall about that. That's about it for the beaches. But what about at the world's greatest beer bar, Le Pub? Let's go back there. So that's our journey, all about toilets here in Pattaya. Is it a public inconvenience? Well, I think public toilets are going in the right direction, if you know what I mean. And now, even if you're an experienced traveller or never been to Pattaya before, you'll know a few places where you'll be able to go and what to expect. Here at Le Pub, my bar here on Soi Diamond, I'm here every day from 11 o'clock. We've got very clean toilets, as you can see. And also, very importantly, the hand washing facilities include, we've got paper towels or my world famous Dyson Airblade. There's only 2 in the whole of Pattaya. I've got one, and so has the Sapphire Club on Soi 15. That's about it for me. Stick around if you want to see some more videos all about Pattaya, and we're back with another one next week. Come down to Soi Diamond. I'm here every day. But in the meantime, if you'll excuse me. Oh.